the Smart Driving Car Summit, ending the Smart Driving Car Summit, and Katherine has to leave, so we're catching her just for a few minutes. But Katherine, one of the things you talked about was something new that you guys are offering. Why don't you give us a thumbnail of that?
Sure. It's called America's Volunteer Driver Center.
Okay.
And it's a couple different things. It's a plan to help people across the country volunteer to drive. Our model for this, actually, believe it or not, is blood donation for the Red Cross. Because I've been working in senior transportation now for 30 years. And the major issue is insufficient supply, not enough people volunteering to drive. And I thought, if we tried to get blood for the nation's hospitals the way we're getting transportation for America's aging population, there'd be no blood in the hospitals,
right.
And, of course, I Googled it, and 41% of the blood in the nation's hospitals is donated by volunteers. And I thought, if people will lie down and give their blood away, I think they will give someone's mother a ride to the supermarket, and I think they will. So I think people are willing to help, and it's a wonderful experience volunteering to drive. So America's Volunteer Driver Center is the first step toward a national public information campaign to get people to think about and support mobility for older people by giving someone a ride. And so we're doing the plan, and it's going to include what's called an environmental scan, which is to look at everything that's already been done in public information campaigns. We're partnering with the Centers for Disease Control. They do a lot of these. Quit smoking, and National Highway Traffic Safety did Buckle Up. So people will do that. So we're going to do a scan, and then we're going to do the technology work to build a portal on the internet so that anybody in the country who wants to volunteer can log on and get screened and be eligible. And then we're going to do another portal for all the volunteer organizations that need drivers. And then this isn't rocket science, right? We're going to help them match. Right. It's as simple as that. And then the last piece is, we have to do a report. This is out of the Secretary of Transportation's office, and we owe them a report. We're going to bring together a roundtable of experts from all three sectors of the economy. So those three sectors are the government, the for-profit sector, and philanthropy, the nonprofit sector. Again, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been reading corporate social responsibility statements, and I've never seen this issue come up. It's, clean up the environment, or, STEM support for education for young people, all good things, right? Meanwhile, all the employees of all these large corporations have parents who can't get to the doctor. They've got to leave work to go take their father to the doctor or their mother to the doctor. And corporate America, they haven't noticed. So we pulled the corporate social responsibility statements of the 25 largest corporations in the United States. Only one of them even mentioned transportation, and none of them mentioned this issue. So we are going to invite corporate America to the table, and we're going to do a lot of work explaining, researching, telling them what this means to them as a business, right? And as a responsible member of the community. So corporate America, industrial America, government at all three levels, and philanthropy. And there's a lot of different kinds of philanthropy. There's corporate foundations, there's family foundations, there's community foundations, there's hospital conversion foundations. We want to bring everybody to the table and say, look, we actually know how to solve this problem. We have to give an older person a ride. And we're going to need to do it with volunteers because there's just not enough public money to do it. And it's too expensive if you try to pay someone to do it.
And I imagine there's a lot of benefit for those entities, whether those be the foundations, the hospital foundation, because now you don't have missed appointments or you have your employees staying at work longer.
Exactly right. The benefits are multiple. There's access to health care. There's an end to social isolation, or help for social isolation for older people. People outlive their decision to stop driving by more than 10 years, right? And, if they can't drive anymore, it's really, really hard to get anywhere. And I was just looking at a report from the CDC. The incidence of dementia is 50% higher in people who are socially isolated, and heart disease is 25% higher, right? So it's depressing. It's like getting buried alive. I know that sounds dramatic, but if you really can't leave your house unless you ask a favor, people can walk, but a lot of like for us, the people we serve, the average age is 80. They have walkers, they have visual impairment. They want to be in their homes. They want to be independent. They don't want to be asking favors, but they need groceries, right? And they need people. They need people. They need community. So America's Volunteer Driver Center is our stake in the ground to say we need to do this as a country. We need to do this as a national effort, and we can do it. I know we can do it. We have to reach out to people and ask them and find a way for them to do it that is easy, and find a way to match them up, and that's easy. And then we'll do it.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is you already have the technology stack there, right? The basics, because of what you've been doing with ITNAmerica.
We have a lot of the technology, that's right. I mean, we've been screening volunteers for 25 years, so we know how to do that. And we actually have a database of all transportation in the country, so we know there are at least 918 nonprofits out there that need volunteers. My instinct is there's about 3 times that many out there. Whoever happens to have a presence on the internet, we could find out. But you know how many church groups there are with volunteers, and how many neighborhood organizations there are, and fish organizations. It goes on and on and on. So really, really what we're doing is using our technology, which is in the cloud, our operational software, and we have something called the Community in the Cloud, which is materials so communities can set up their own transportation service. And most of them are free.
Yeah.
Just contact us and we'll tune you into it. And then the technology for America's Volunteer Driver Center. With that, we will have effectively created a digital presence, a digital transformation that is accessible to any community in America to tackle their local transportation needs.
Katherine, this is so exciting, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you.